Hi, Instagram, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Millennial Fuck Up. And even though that there is 4 videos, last video I had to break it up into 2 because it just ran a little bit longer than I anticipated, but this is episode 3 of the Millennial Fuck Up. And I have to be quite honest, I normally talk about topics, or I decided to talk about topics when I feel like there is, I'm feeling that topic that week, or I'm feeling that topic that day, or those couple of days that I feel in my heart. I need to talk about it. And this week, there have been a couple of topics that have jumped out to me. But then I realized that I still haven't talked about why I even started the Millennial Fuck Up. And even though I believe that I should have started with this video at first instead of the engagement, but I was feeling the engagement more than I was, an introduction to the Millennial Fuck Up. So here I am, I'm gonna be doing that video for you guys today, and I really wanted to talk about where it all started. So I was reading this book by Rachel Hollis, and she has multiple books, but the books that I read from her are the nonfiction, and I have to say the truth, and they have been such a revelation for me, such a game changer for me, because it just gave me the push to want to start doing this, to, the blogs or YouTube and stuff like that. Like, she was the one that pushed me into wanting to do all this. So, she didn't make me, or I didn't feel like I had to, but I just felt like she gave me that push to stop being afraid. Now, the first book that I read from her is Girl, Wash Your Face. And I recommend those books so much because I'm telling you, as a female, they are just so amazing. In those books, I just felt like it was okay to not be okay. And I know a lot of people do get those a lot, or like there's tons of books like those, which I completely understand because everyone has their own preference. But I just felt like that from her. I mean, like, I've read a couple other different books from female authors, and I just felt like with her, I was so more into it because she lives in a neighboring town right next to mine. And I just really can relate to a lot of the stuff that she went through. And I feel like with books, or with nonfiction books, especially female authors, that we like to talk about our past experiences. We like to talk about what we have gone through, and that's totally okay. And I feel like that's perfectly fine so that we can understand the reader. I mean, like, hey, like, why you're even making that book. And for me, one day I would love to write a book. And I feel like with the book, or the difference between them and myself, is that they were able to write it in a book, put words into pages, you know what I mean, on a piece of paper. But for me, since I'm not there yet, and I don't feel comfortable, like writing a book off the bat when I have no audience. So for me, I felt like I would like to talk about my experience, but my difference is that I'm using my words and I'm using a camera to speak to you guys right directly, So my stories are being broken up. In a book, like, everything is just right there, you know what I mean? They work so hard for it, etc. But for me, I was like, well, if they could do it in a book, well, why not? I cannot do it, in a video face to face. So for me, that's why I felt like I really wanted to do this, but I didn't know exactly like the name or, how I really envisioned myself, because I said at first that I only wanted to be strictly on Instagram and, talking to close friends to me and stuff like that, they recommended for me just to do, other ventures, because not everyone is on Instagram. So of course I have YouTube and blogs and stuff like that. And so I've always knew that I wanted to do this, but I didn't really know exactly when I wanted to do it. And just because it's always been in the back of my head, I mean, like, it's kind of like thinking, oh, I want to do that, but you're not really gonna put the motion into it. So that's how I felt on my part. And I remember it was on a Tuesday. It was super late at night. I was getting ready for bed because I do work and wake up early in the morning. And I want to say I was 80% like more asleep than I was awake. And that was when the name, ideas, everything started flowing to me. It was kind of like a revelation of it. Everything was just flowing into my head. And that was when I decided, okay, I'm going to start it. I'm going to name it this. And that was when I started doing preparations. And I was talking again to close family and friends. And I was like, hey, like, what do you guys recommend, like, for me, to post videos? Because I really wanted to post videos on Monday. But my best friend, she suggested for me to do Wednesdays instead of Mondays. And, one thing that I absolutely wanted to do with my brand is that I really want to be consistent, because I feel like with other things that I start, or with things that I think that I want to start, or things that I wish to do, I'm not consistent in it. And so I feel like with me wanting and putting the effort to be consistent in this is something that I want to pursue for a really long time, because in the second book of Rachel Hollis, so the first book is Girl Wash Your Face, the second is Girl Stop Apologizing. Girl Stop Apologizing, and then the third one is Didn't See That Coming. In the second book, I remember her talking about a lot of people wanting to have a lot of goals, and having a lot of goals, but we don't focus on one that can have us achieve like all the other goals. And I feel like with this blog, with this brand, I really want to take it somewhere far. So this is why I am starting it, because I'm just really am tired of always saying, like, I'm going to start it, or I want to do this, I want to do that, and not really putting the effort or anything like that. So for me, I was like, I'm going to try it for a year. If it works, it works. But I know one thing for sure is that I'm going to be consistent every single day. And which I have so far. And I've had this blog or this thing going for about 3-4 weeks now. So, it's been really well. I am still growing, and that's the point, is to grow, because not everyone is going to start something and boom, right away you're going to have thousands of followers, or you're going to have thousands of people. But not only just to share my stories with you all about the Millennial Fuck Up, but for me, I want my stories to relate to other people. And if you don't relate to it, then maybe you can see it as a comic standpoint, because I know a lot of people are malice like that. But for me, it's more of I want to relate to people. I want to relate to millennials, or to people who are young that are going through so many problems, or going through so many issues. And, and I can't believe how much commonality I have with people of different ages. I'm always speaking to a lady, last week, and she also got married for papers. I'm not going to mention anything, but you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was in that position, but I didn't go through it. And she was like, well, I did. And I kind of messed up. And I was like, see, you know what I mean? And I just feel like a lot of our stories are more so common than we actually think. And so for me, if it's comic for you, or you can relate to it, maybe you can relate to it now or later. But for me, that's what I want. I want to relate to other people. I want to build a community that, is, maybe single ladies, or not even single ladies, but for every single person, and for me, I am single. I live all by myself. I have such major responsibilities, and I feel like I sometimes go crazy, but I don't regret it. And I'm having so much fun, and and that's what the Millennial Fuck Up is about. Yes, I understand it's the Millennial Fuck Up, so and I'm telling my stories because I feel like my stories are funny, and some of them are really shrewd, and some are what the fuck, you know what I mean? But what's it called, for me is it's for sure, to, I don't know, just do something more, And so those are kind of the reasons why I wanted to start the Millennial Fuck Up. And another thing that has helped me, I truly believe, because I feel like a lot of people want to do the same, or they want to, do more, or, just put themselves out there, but they really don't have that in their heart. And I hear all the time, oh my gosh, you're so brave, or whatever. But in reality, you are, because you're letting people know you on a deeper level. You're not letting people know you on a deeper level, but you want people to understand the certain aspects that you've been through in your life, or certain phases through your life, that you want people to know that phase of you that you went through at that time. So that is basically why I don't want my video to run a little bit more longer. But if you guys have any questions or concerns, or want a specific topic for me to talk about, because I'm telling you, I've been through so much stuff. But with any questions that you may have, or anything like that, please comment or DM me, or anything like that. And please show your support. I would super appreciate it. And yes, so I will see you all next Wednesday with a new topic. And thank you for watching this video. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you who are watching this, who follow me, who like this video, who comment this video, every single thing, or just anything, just breathing. I appreciate you all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and see you guys next week. Bye.